welcome back to Survival of the Shittest. As always, Stanley, the shittest, Rowan Williams, back with you for another Would Stan Survive Saw, or Survival of Saw. This time we're covering Saw 4, but a little bit of housekeeping, as I always say. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Make sure you comment. Sure, it probably doesn't do much, but I do like seeing them, and I don't get many of them, so be a little bit nice. A lot going on today in the background and on me. This is a Paradiso t-shirt, which is a Sloppy Boys album. If you haven't heard the Sloppy Boys, check them out. This is the Black Pumas, who I've seen a couple of times in Bristol, and they're getting quite big. Make sure you check them out as well. Fantastic group. So what to say about Saw 4? Saw 4 follows Rig. He is a cop. He's one of the last few cops left over in the series from Saw 1 to 4. He's desperate to find Eric Matthews and believes he's still alive. And he's got a habit of not following the rules, going through doors and sort of charging in head first. And maybe, just maybe, there's a lesson to be learned throughout this one about whether you should follow the rules or if you should just do what you want and charge in. Who's to say? I am, because I've seen it several times. And like I said, Saw 3 wasn't sort of my favourite of the movies. It's sort of middle of the pack. And this one's probably slightly worse than Saw 3 for me. But let's get into it. So, without further ado, this is Surviving Saw 4. Okay, so the first trap that we see in Saw 4 is the knife chair. So you're sort of restrained to a chair with some painful restraints on your wrists and your ankles, and there's loads of knives in front of you like this, and you've got to push your face through, cut out your face. Once you push your face all the way through, you are released from the restraints. So it's quite simple. And my plan of action. So I don't think this one's like particularly deadly. Like, yeah, you are getting cut a lot, and the chance of you bleeding out probably quite high. Head wounds. I've cut my head shaving a few times and it bleeds like a motherfucker. So chance of dying there, but I don't think other than that you're at too much risk. And the biggest point I've got here, and the biggest sort of chance, you may have noticed as this a video so you can see me, I have not an insignificant beard. And sure, it's not going to protect me loads, but I think it's going to add a little bit of protection on some of these parts. I'll lose a significant portion of the beard, which might be worse than death, probably not. And the scars are probably going to keep it from growing back in any meaningful way. But I mean, you're going to have to deal with the scars, beard or no beard, aren't you? So overall, I reckon because it's not too deadly, apart from sort of the bleeding out, I'm going to give myself 63, 65. Let's go 63, let's not be too confident. 63% chance of survival on a knife chair. Okay, so the next trap we have up, I've been reliably informed by Wikipedia, it's called the Mausoleum. Basically, you wake up in a room, either your eyes are sewn shut so you can't see, but your mouth is open, or your mouth is sewn shut, but your eyes are open, and you can sort of see what's going on, and around your neck is a chain. Someone else in the room is there also, and they're flip reverse, and the chain starts after you sort of set it off, and it pulls you both in, eventually killing you. There's a few objects strewn around the room, and sort of that's about it. So how do we survive this? So the plan of action, there's somebody they use a hook, a part of it, to sort of kill the other guy. Get the hook, sort of put it across your sewn lips. Your eyes are going to be more difficult, I feel, to get this. But if your mouth is the one that's sewn shut, the guy in the movie, Art, I believe his name is, once he has killed the other guy, he sort of screams and rips it open. Just do that earlier. Scream, rip it open, because the key to the chain is on the back of the neck. So rip it open. It'll be a bit garbled, but just say, look, like, hold still, we'll get out of this. Easily done. Same, like, and I don't know how hard it is to sew someone's eyes shut or to open your eyes if they've been sewn shut. Eyelids are quite fragile, I would imagine. So they would, like, doing wrong. Tearing your eyelids sounds fucking awful. But if you pulled it hard enough, I reckon it's doable. So yeah, my plan of action, find a way to open my mouth if that's the case. And if I'm the one with the eyes so shut, I try and talk. Like, they can't talk back, but hopefully they've figured out that if they tear open their mouth, they can talk. And we sort of figured this out. I reckon more chance of surviving than the previous one. If anything, let's go 75%. Okay, next up, we have the Scalping Seat, and let's just get this out of the way. Going forward, I'm going to take the position of the people in the traps that Rig has to put people in, because the game, his whole thing is that, like, look, you've got to let people save themselves. The rules are that you've got to let them sort of play the game. So the Scalping Seat is you sat in a chair, restrained. There's a head. There's something attached to your hair, and it starts pulling the cogs, and it rips your scalp off, basically. And then Rig has to help you out of it by sort of figuring out the cogs. He doesn't do that. I'm pretty sure he just shoots it. And then you're told if he gets you out, there's a knife under the telly. You got to grab it and kill him because there's all these pictures of you doing illegal shit. So he's going to take you to jail. Plan of action on this one, there's not much you can do here, because the whole point is that Rig saves you in this one. I don't think there is a way for her to save herself unless she's saved, which is a bit of a bummer. So if Rig doesn't do it, then you're fucked. You may have noticed that I've got a beard. I don't really have any hair, so not really anything to attach it to, unless they attach it to the beard, which would pull that part of it. Would it pull it off? If it does, look, it's not going to be good if it does. So what do I reckon? There's no way of getting out. Like, I'm not going to kill a police officer. I'm not saying I'm a saint. I've not followed the law, but to the letter, all my 30 years. But there's going to be some pictures of me, I don't know, nicking some pick mix, doing some other little minor things. But I'm probably not going to jail for a lot of the things that I've done. So if Rig saves me, I'm not killing him. I'll go to the police station, chill, get released. Survival chance, as long as if we go by Rig saving in the movie, like 70%. Yeah, let's go 70%. Okay, the next one is called the bedroom trap. Rig puts you in this one. So if you are strapped to a bed, your head's in a vice, you have buttons in your hands, and there's two huge spikes above you. And you press the button, it pulls the spikes into your eyes, blinds you. This one, the guy is reprehensible, so you don't feel too bad when he's ripped limb from limb, because you have 60 seconds or it pulls you apart. But plan of action on this one, look, I don't think it'll be easy to be blind at all. There's plenty of people who are blind though, and they manage it and they live fulfilling lives. So just press the buttons. It's going to be painful. It's not going to be great for the first bit, but he's a voyeur in the movie. So, and I like watching movies, but you got the sound stuff. Like, it's a lot more accessible these days, so I don't think it's too difficult. Like 60 seconds, I just press both of them at once, get it over with. So 95% chance of survival on this. Next up, we have the spike trap. So you are trussed up, not with your hands up, but you're trussed up with poles going through you in non-vital points, and someone else is behind you with the same poles going through vital points. Now, what you have to do is pull these poles out of yourself which will kill the person behind you, or just wait and bleed out yourself. The person behind you in the movie is a wife abuser, someone who's not very nice, and it's the wife who has to do the trap. So it seems quite obvious what you do there, and there's not, in terms of plans, there's not a lot you can do. I would say grab the poles, pull them out. They're in non-fatal places. It's going to suck, it's going to hurt, but what else can you do? I don't know if there's a way to staunch blood, because you trussed up, so I don't know if there is a way to staunch the bleeding until someone else can get there. I mean, Rig gets there, sort of helps her in a way. Well, it just makes her do it herself, but just putting some poles out on it, easy. Fuck it, 60%, because I don't know, you might bleed loads when you pull the poles out. Yeah, let's go 60. And finally, we have the ice block trap. So you're in a room, you're stood on an ice block with a rope around your neck. If the ice block melts enough, you choke. If someone rushes through this door before the time's up, 2 big blocks of ice come down and smash your head. Or you sat in a chair, and if the ice melts enough, it raises the water and electrocutes you. We all know it doesn't, because Hoffman's the bad guy. Spoilers. So that's about it, really. And then if someone comes through the door, it pierces you've got a finger on the back of your neck that pierces your brain. Eric Matthews does try and kill himself at one point, but that doesn't help you survive. Plan of action, there's not really anything you can do. Just sit there and wait. Chance of survival, somewhere between 0 and 100%. I'll tell you that much. But there's really no way of knowing, because if Rig comes through that door early, which he's prone to do, as we know, because of the rest of the movie, like I said, lessons learned there, then you're dead. And like Eric Matthews is given a gun and he shoots at the door when Rig is about to come through. That just makes Rig come through more. So, I mean, I wouldn't shoot. One thing I will say, Eric Matthews gets done dirty in these movies. Sure, he's an absolute prick in the second one, and it shows a history of him being an absolute prick. But second one, he has all that stuff happen to him. Third one, he's locked up and he uses the toilet lid to break his foot. Then he's rehabilitated by Jigsaw. I assume he doesn't. He just rebuffs or isn't even given a chance to join Jigsaw. And then he's put on this trap where he's got very little agency in how he wins, and then he just dies. I mean, of all the characters, Eric Matthews deserved better in my mind, because he had that thing that Jigsaw wanted, the puzzle piece that makes him want to survive. But what can you do? Jigsaw didn't see him that way. And then we have Saw 4. Like I say, it's not my favourite of the Saw movies. I think 5 to 7 are... Saw 4 might actually be bottom of the pack for me. Actually, Jigsaw might be bottom of the pack. There's pros and cons of all movies. I think these ones sort of have the least interesting of the traps, and you don't get to... Like, Rig is an interesting character and sort of fun to see how Jigsaw tries to put him in that sort of point of view. I assume because it's Hoffman, and so Hoffman is trying to sort of get Rig on his side, because it'd be great to have another cop on his side. But it just doesn't hit completely right for me. But look, when you've got 8-9 movies, you're gonna have one that's got to be the worst one, haven't you? Other than that, like I say, like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell icon. If you do those things, I will like you more than I already do. If you've got this far, I like you a lot already. You're sweet. And make sure you stay shit.